So what happens next, right? What happens next is Jamal decides he's going to turn me on to drugs, right? You take over the body, you take over the mind, and then you can pretty much have someone do whatever you want. So after we had gotten really close and we went out on all these dates and my guards were down, I trusted this man. I go over to his house and we get sexually, we're sexually active at that point. As a woman, you can always tell when a man is trying to like show out and do some extra things sexually. I realized that, but I didn't think it was to will me into anything. So after that, he gives me one of his t-shirts and we go into the living room where he calls the maid in there. He's like, yeah, order whatever you want. She'll make you whatever you want. And I still trying to be cute, so I order a salad. He orders a lobster, I believe. Lobster or crab legs. So the maid is making us something to eat. So Mal pulls out this black baggie. And I look at it, and it's like these crystals, right, that he called MALLY. Now, this is the first time I had ever seen MALLY before. And so he started gloating, and he was bragging about how he had the best MALLY, that his was the purest, and he gets his exported from God knows yonder. And so it seemed kind of peer pressury, so I tried one. For those of you that are not familiar with MALLY is the street name for methylene dioxide methamphetamine, also known as MDMA. It is a drug that enhances your emotions and your feelings. So one of the first things that you'll notice is that you will have a very high sex drive. It's also hallucinogenic, or you might lose the accuracy of time. And you never knew what time it was in Mal's house anyway, because the windows are like blacked out, right? So you don't know what time you're going to sleep. You don't know what time you're waking up. It's like you losing your time, and he's just manipulating you. You're listening to everything he's saying and stuff. And so this sent me down a long road that I had to recover from, of addiction. I literally lost myself inside MALLY, inside alcohol, and it wasn't like it wasn't like a little bit of time. This was like the whole time I'm with him for this 10 years. I'm like drinking and and for me, orange juice enhanced the MALLY. So it was MALLY and vodka and orange juice, champagne peach schnapps, champagne and orange juice. This became my favorite drink. And after a while, after you drink for so long, you get a tolerance for alcohol. So I would drink heavy, more and more. And after a while, I started drinking because I was depressed from the abuse, from like the anxiety and depression of having to do what I was doing. And I mean, it would be bad too. I would be drunk all the time. Like there were some nights like I was like, oh, I don't want to do this, but I thought in my mind, like, if I just get to a bar, right? If I just get to a bar, I'll be fine. Like, once I started drinking, some nights it wouldn't be. Some nights I couldn't make my problems disappear with alcohol, because then it would just enhance what my problems were, and I'd just start crying. I passed out in my car. And what makes it so bad is because I know that the stuff that Mal did to me was premeditated, and getting me on drugs and having sex with me and all this stuff. And the reason why I know is because later on, me and Mal was arguing about me bringing my friend to the house, and I didn't want to bring her because I didn't want him to turn her out. And my friend Kelly was driving me to the strip, and we started arguing about it, and he started verbally abusing me, saying how that it was gay, that I didn't want to bring her to the house, and that all I had to do was bring her to the house, because he's like, all you have to do is bring her to the house and we'll sex her real good and this and that, and I'll do the rest. Like, I'll basically I'll will her in. And we fought over it. And when I got off the phone, my friend Kelly turned around, he giggled a little bit. He was like, well, you better bring that girl to the house or you're about to get your butt whooped. And that night, And that's the night that I found out that Maul did these things on purpose. You know, that it wasn't something he did to me. This is what he did to everybody. You know, he premeditated this stuff, and of course, like, you know, I go out and we didn't got into an argument. He didn't verbally abuse me, so of course I go out and I start drinking. You know, and my friend Kelly heard him. You know, he was on speaker when he was saying this. Because he I'm telling you, he'll never forget it because he made so many jokes about it later on after. And it just was crazy.